you were to take a chunk of ice and place it directly.
We're going to give this another shot and see how we can make all this happen. Hopefully it'll be a better time than last time we did this. First of all, let's get some things out of the way here. How's everybody doing? It's almost Christmas. So we're going to let this go for a minute. Some audio here from the radio. Hopefully it's not too loud. I'll try to tune into a signal here and then I'm going to create something in Discord.
An accident here 2 years ago where we had Hurricane Milton whipped up a tornado. We had a mile of us, about half a mile actually, and they destroyed tracks around the house and the torn down. And so the rates went up after that. So I shopped around and we got, there's these, they're sort of cooperatives now. That
what we need to do is share
provide
this
better rates, and so we got that. A lot of people didn't have insurance because they paid cash for their homes and figured that they didn't need insurance. And new homes and they were solid concrete block construction. They weren't having any problems. Boy, were they wrong. There were I heard something like 100 homes.
I'm going to
didn't have insurance and they lost they were a total write-off. We're talking about homes that are like 1.5 million there, Marco.
I gotta get my stream link URL. Let's go here. Video link, copy, paste. Radio live. You know, I got this funky cord in my way of the keyboard, so if you hear something rattling in the background, that's because I'm actually using a different microphone tonight and using just a set of headphones here, but the headphones have a mic in them, so I got this extra cord dangling down. So it says, oh, 10 o'clock. We're not 10 o'clock. We're going to do 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock to...
Frequency is in use there, Donald Duck. Donald Duck just came on frequency there. Yeah, I've thought about self-insuring, but my...
Listen to these guys in the background. They're funny. We escaped the storm. Shoot. What time? It's PM. We'll do 10:30 Central Time.
We have high taxes in Florida and high property values. It's not cheap down there. But the insurance, there's not much we can do about it. The storm that came through, Mark, there was somebody had a dumpster. They had rented a dumpster, and it ended up on top of this house. It was a two-story house, actually up on top of the roof, blown up all over there.
All right, we're almost done here, guys. I'm sorry you're not seeing the screen. Anything fun?
Ended up upside down, just tossed by this thing. It had a...
We're gonna start that. Start event.
It was cyclonic action.
Get that going.
Clockwise, so it twisted.
Announcements. Like I said in here. See if anyone wants to join. See what's going on in here. I don't see anyone joining this stream yet, which is totally fine. This is more of a test anyway. I want to get my audio balanced out here. And then maybe we can make some contacts tonight.
Acknowledged, Don.
So we'll go back to this display. I know it's smaller than doesn't fit the full screen, but I don't think so. You can't see. Nobody's joining me yet. I'm a lonely soul tonight in the stream. I really like it if someone could come on and just let me know if this sounds like poop or not. Because, I don't know.
Okay, Mark, so we've got Don in there, Whiskey Zulu 8 here as well. Yeah, you have a good evening, and I don't think I told you I sold my my 101D, and I'm on the new ICOM now, so I'm no longer with the 101D. I sold it for what I paid for it 3.5 years ago. I was pretty happy about that. Anyway, Mark, catch you later at 7:03. And Don, just 1 second, and I'll pick you up there. I'm just gonna grab a drink from the fridge, and I'll be right back.
Alright, I'm still around here. I'm just doing some testing. Trying to listen to myself back on the stream here. So if you hear that in the background, that would be the reason why. But my audio is really low for some reason, and I cannot figure out why. I'm darn near clipping here in OBS. So, and I did notice that the radio audio is a little bit loud. So I'm going to try to bump that and bring that down a little bit. See if that helps. I do have a preamp as well, hooked into the microphone here. And I am using my overhead mic right now. I should say my boom mic, not my overhead mic. There's quite a difference. I'm pretty close to the microphone here, and to me it sounds like I'm overdriving it, but on the stream it's not the case. So I'm going to go ahead and mute it and test it again. It looks like someone else came in here. I am just trying to get my audio level set with the radio. So once we do that, we can hopefully get started here. So thanks for popping in. Alright, I'm going to ask you guys a question. If you can type in the chat, that'll help me out. I am trying to figure out how to get this radio audio to be quieter. So I'm pulling in audio from the radio browser here, as you can tell. And I have it muted on the mixer. I should say I don't have it muted, but I have the slider all the way down for the browser audio. But I don't have it muted, but it's still coming in. It's like the audio is not changing, the audio level for the browser. So I'm going to go ahead and mute it.
Yeah, I used to go fishing quite a bit on Saturday nights when I was a kid.
Does that make a difference at all? Again, I'm trying to figure out this mixer. Excuse me. And how to pipe in audio from the computer into OBS back out to YouTube. And It should all be coming in through the mic here. I'm going to bring the mic up just a little bit. Apparently the preamp I have on this microphone is not as good as I thought it was.
My dad was a fly fisher.
Again, I'm not using my
Trout. You know, he'd go up to the
my
back
good
and
stuff.
go up in
My good
New
stuff
York
is
State.
actually locked in a trailer.
And he'd also go up to Vermont.
You know, all inside of a rack, so I'm not going to haul that. Let's have 100 pounds of stuff down here. So if you guys could jump in the chat, say hi, or let me know how things are going
Boy Scout camp on Lake
while I get the bugs worked out here in the audio, that'd be appreciated.
Actually, the Boy Scout camp used to be over.
You know, I just listened to the stream, and I'm still hearing this browser audio. What in the heck is going on? All right, now we're going to mute this. All right, so now we don't have any browser audio coming in. And that means you guys shouldn't hear anything from the browser. I might have to just hook up the SPIDX directly, the speaker out right into the mixer here. That might give me more control and figure out what's going on here, and then it'll make it a lot easier for you and me, and hopefully more pleasant on the ears. So if someone could just type something in the chat, I want to make sure that I can see it in my window here. That'll help me out to let me know that the chat's working. So of course I can respond to you guys and do what else we need to do. Play trivia. Ham radio trivia night. I got a lot of unread messages in Discord. Holy cow. So one of the nice things about, or one of the features about this mixer is that it has an automatic ducking feature. Now the ducking feature is pretty aggressive in my opinion. However, it sounds great, especially in the headset here, the headphones. But it doesn't send it to the line output, which I don't understand why. I'm using a podcaster's mixer. I'm not using my good stuff, my professional stuff, or semi-professional, I guess. So I'm using a very cheap, small, compact mixer that's designed for podcasters and video game streamers. So it's not the best, and I am using my boom mic here, something that I've had on many years. So anyway, the problem that I'm having is I can't seem to control the browser audio the way I want to. So let's see, do we have any, nobody's chatting. You guys, I need help. I just want to know if the chat's working. All right, I guess it is working. There's someone that said hi. I appreciate that. All right. So stand by. I am going to get an audio cable and connect it directly to the radio, and then we can bring in browser audio again, and we can try to make some contacts. And one of the reasons why we're doing sort of an impromptu stream tonight is because typically my grandson comes over on Friday nights. Ooh, this cable is going to be pretty short. Yeah, he usually comes over on Friday nights and hangs out with his awesome grandparents, aka me and my wife. And he is not here tonight. He's actually coming over tomorrow night. So tonight is the better night of the nights to do a live stream and play with radio. But let's see if this is going to work. This cord is not long enough because the radio is too far away. But we'll see if we can pull this in here. Let me grab the audio from the radio.
All I dealt with was fiberglass boats. I didn't want to wood. And mostly fishing boats, and
Can you guys hear that all right?
there was no maintenance involved. You know, just
Test.
maintenance, and if there was, I didn't do the maintenance anymore. But I did a lot of fish fiberglass. Came out a lot of sailfish, dolphin, kingfish, wahoo, yellowfin tuna offshore of Miami, and you know, I lived on Key Biscayne there, so we'd pop over to the Bahamas, go fishing there off of Bimini and out Cat Cay out in the islands there in the Bahamas, where there's great fish in there, Donovan.
All right, you're going to hear an echo here, but I just want to check my audio. Make sure that the microphone is good. And apparently it's really hot, so let's pad it for, let's bring it down a couple dB here. We'll see if this is a little better.
Yeah, I can see that. That's funny. Yeah, we had adventures in Long Island Sound where, you know, we were. My dad was
All right, we brought it down again.
early on when I was just, I don't know.
Let's see how this is doing.
At that point in time, he had a 25-foot Seacraft with a single outboard on it, and the storm had whipped up, and there were good 8 to 10-foot rollers in the and it was raining hard with wind and sound, and he decided we were going to still make it, and you know, we were going along close by the shore because the weather was a little bit less.
All right, so you're going to hear some echo in the background. Apologize for that.
So we had to go into
Let's turn this down. I did bring the audio down a little bit for my microphone. I think it was a little hot.
it was just too
And now it's
right.
plenty loud, right? So Okay. I wish I could get the ducking to work properly, but maybe it is. I don't know. I need someone to watch. Who's out there? Anybody out there? Anybody anywhere? Let's go find a blank spot on the band. Oh, there's somebody there. There's a frequency in use. This is Whiskey 9 Japan Echo Sierra. All right. I know I think I'm in the extra portion of the band. But should we try to make some contacts here before we move around? Looks like we only have one person watching. That's probably me. So what do you think? I mean, people are busy on Friday nights and it's getting close to the holidays. I can completely understand that. Who wants to sit around on the computer watching some old ham radio guy fumble around on YouTube? I don't know. Some of you might get your jollies off on that. You never know. What's going on in Discord? Anybody doing something in here? Maybe what we should do is we should just tune to a frequency and then wait for people to come in. I have 116 subscribers. I'm pretty sure most of these people could care less about what I'm doing right now live on the radio. But that's okay. My wife is busy wrapping presents for Christmas. And I suppose I should be up there helping her as well, right? But I'm not. That makes me a bad husband or just, I don't know. She's better at wrapping than I am, especially since my surgery on my hand. I'd probably make the presents look like they're wrapped by a 3-year-old more than anything else. Excuse me. All right, we're going to move around here.
The question would be, you're operating remotely from your TS990. How is that?
Ooh, TS590. I have a TS570. I would like to get a TS590 if I can find a good used one cheap. Anybody have one out there that they want to sell? Let me know. All right. Well, it sounds like the ducking is working now. I'll have to write down these settings and remember them so I know what I need to have to do these live streams. So the goal tonight so far, get the microphone audio up to a level where everybody can hear it, so it doesn't sound muffled in the weeds. Number 2 was to dial down the radio audio, and we were having trouble doing that with browser audio. So what I did is I ran a cable directly from the radio to the mixer, and that seemed to have resolved the issue. So I'm hoping we can make some contacts tonight. It'd be great. Hopefully the bands are a little bit better than they were the other night, and we can resolve some technical difficulties. And again, anybody who's coming in to the stream tonight, if you were here for the last one, you knew how bad it was. This one is hopefully going to be a little better. So what I say is that once you hit bottom, there's only one way to go. So I'm going back up. I'm going to see if I can start improving these and get better at doing YouTube stuff. I know I've said in the past that I'm really not a YouTube guy. I'm still not a YouTube guy, but I'm gonna give it a try. I'm going outside of my comfort zone for sure here. So, but yeah, we have a new microphone, new mixer, new setup that we're trying to dial in here. So if you're new here or if you're from Discord, feel free to jump in the chat and say hi. Tell us what you're up to tonight. We're getting ready for Christmas. We're wrapping presents and doing a bunch of other stuff here. So I figured, why not jump on the radio for a little bit, see if I can make some contacts, and that would be fun. So let's see if we can dial around the frequencies here. Speaking of that, while I'm doing this, what do you guys think about the expansion of the 60-meter band? I'm happy for it. I think anytime we get more, a bigger slice of the pie on HF, the more fun it is. I know there are some ERP requirements on that band, some lower power and whatnot, but it's probably still a fun band. I've done some FT8 down there before, but nothing really significant. So I wonder if I need to retune here, because this band looks a little, waterfall looks a little strange. Okay. All right, we are tuned. Yes, I'm not using the tune button. Should be, but I'm not. All right. That did clean up the waterfall a little bit, so that's somebody down here at what, 205? But 204.5. Where should I go? Or should I try to make some contacts? What do the bands look like tonight? Oops. There we go.
In the low 80s today, and I'm in North Florida. South Florida was probably 39.
Somebody's in Florida. Should we try to make a contact? They're pretty down in the weeds here. I don't know if they're going to hear me. I am running a measly 20 watts. We'll give it a try. Whiskey 9 Japan Echo Sierra. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cough in your ears. I can barely make him out. He's in the weeds. Is the band going to be temperamental for me tonight? The Black Hole of Northeast Wisconsin. Someone on 254 here. Again, really, really far down there. Really down on the noise floor. It's disappointing. These guys are probably running 100 watts and I'm running 20, so there's going to be a big difference here. And actually, maybe it's not so much the power, it's more the antenna. Maybe they're running better antennas than I am. I am running the NFED long wire, or random wire, long wire, random wire. They're the same thing. And that's up about 30 feet or so from running from the chimney over to a tree at about 66 feet, 9-to-1, on with a choke on the end here for Commonwealth current. So not your best setup, but something I put up right before the snow and decided to give it a try. And honestly, it's been okay, but I haven't used it much. But I still do have the fan dipole, and that is good for 40-20. Is it 15-10? I don't know. It's an Alpha Delta antenna that I got for free. Free's not a bad price for an antenna. So what are these guys talking about here? Looks like we got a couple of you guys coming in here. Go ahead and say hi. I'd like to know who's lurking in the background. Speaking of that, how's the audio? Is the radio audio okay? Do you want me to bring it up, or do you want me to adjust the microphone at all? Again, this is a brand new setup here, so we're doing some testing. I'm using a very cheap podcaster mixer amplifier. It's just an audio mixer. But I am using my boom mic and with a preamp and directly feeding audio from the radio into the mixer here. on a very, very short cable. So if I sneeze or move, we might lose everything here, guys. So let's try to make some contacts. This has been these looks like these guys are in either in a rag chew or in a. This must be a net. Yeah, I think it's a net. Let's go find somewhere else.
That's your beautiful bride there, and
Oh, got somebody down here.
don't have to talk again sometime. So I'll say, I'm just wondering before you go, tell me, are you doing, you and your wife doing traveling like this, like every year going some
I'm gonna see if I can get someone else in here.
WA1GZY, W5QZ?
He's offline. All right. Let's see here. Does anybody want to go tune around here? Anyone have a frequency they can recommend? It's about 9:30 p.m. here, Central Time, where I'm located in the northeast Wisconsin part of the Midwest, more famously known as, I guess, Green Bay Packer territory, if you are a football fan.
AY1 while you were aeronautical mobile, is that right?
These guys are coming up. Aeronautical mobile.
Was aeronautical mobile. I heard of Jordanian aeronautical mobile, which is unusual enough. I called the station. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm on a 1011." And he said, "I'm midway across the Atlantic." And
Well, I'm gonna go find an empty spot here. First, we're gonna go up to 20 meters. I want to see if that band is any better. What we're gonna do is reset the tuner. Okay, we got our tuner reset. Well, let's go find something. I can tell you, with winter, this band does die off quite quickly. At least for me. During the day, it's fine. 5 o'clock tonight, 5 to 6 p.m. tonight, it was crazy. And then it just, oh, I'm way out of band. And then it just dies. It literally just dies overnight. That's the nature of radio. When you're playing with small power radio and compromised antennas, I guess some people like that challenge. What is this? Is this overload from a broadcast band? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I kind of knew that band wasn't going to be good. Okay. So we're looking at lower bands, 40 and below. We'll go back to here and retune. See if we can get somebody. Oh, guys. You know, it'd be really neat if I could actually get 5 people on the stream. That'd be fun. Maybe I need to put something interesting on here for you guys. All right, we're tuned. $254. Let's see if anybody's at 261 here. We'll try to make some contacts. Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? This is Whiskey 9 Japan Echo Sierra. Whiskey 9 Japan Echo Sierra. Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency... Uh-oh. Radio locked up. That was not supposed to happen. I think we had some RF that came into the shack here. Let's give that another try. Again, we got some short cables here, but I do not have chokes on everything, so may need to fine tune the setup. Yep. CQ 40 meters, CQ 40 meters, CQ 40 meters, CQ anyone, anywhere. This is Whiskey 9 Japan Echo Sierra, Whiskey 9 Japan Echo Sierra, calling CQ, CQ, anyone, anywhere. Calling CQ, calling CQ, calling CQ. Calling CQ, this is Whiskey 9 Japan Echo Sierra, Whiskey 9 Japan Echo Sierra, W9JES, from Midwest, Green Bay, Wisconsin, looking for a contact, anyone, anywhere. Over. Calling CQ, calling CQ 40 meters, CQ 40. This is W9JES, Whiskey 9 Japan Echo Sierra, calling CQ from the Midwest in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Anyone, anywhere, come back. I apologize, guys. I did not have had the wrong screen on there. It's a lot of work doing this. It's hard enough just to talk on the radio. Can you imagine doing all this YouTube stuff? That's why I'm doing this. I'm trying to get out of my element here, my comfort zone, and we'll try something new, right? And if you're going to fail, you might as well fail in front of the world. Calling CQ, calling CQ, calling CQ. This is Whiskey 9 Japan Echo Sierra, Whiskey 9 Japan Echo Sierra. Calling CQ, CQ40, CQ, CQ40. Anyone, anywhere. Calling CQ from W9JES over in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Do you guys hear that? You can see it on the waterfall here, these horizontal lines. I wonder if it's coming from this this station here, because it looks like they're symmetrical. At first I thought someone was barking at me. I wouldn't blame them. All right, let's try 80 meters. We might have better luck down there. You guys can join me on 80 meters. That'd be fun. So let's move around here. All right. Give me one moment. Okay, there are some stations down here. I want to make sure I'm not on top of anybody before I tune the transmatch. And if you're an old school person, you know what a transmatch is. If you're a newer person to ham radio, it's an antenna tuner. Oh, that SWR does not look so good. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and mute this so it doesn't blow your ears out. I apologize for that. There, we'll do you can hear it in the background, but the tuner's going nuts. Let's try this one more time. All right, I think we got a good match here. And I'm really sorry for tuning over your ears and blowing them out your eardrums. I'll make sure that I don't do that in the future. All right. See if we can get anybody down here. Got some really weird, I don't know if it's atmospheric noise or environmental noise. I'm sure you guys can hear that too, and you can see it on the waterfall here. These weird striations. I can't talk tonight. Whiskey Alpha 4 something. What was that called? Whiskey Alpha 4 station. This is Whiskey 9 Japan Echo Sierra. Do you copy? Whiskey 9, Japan, Echo Sierra. No, it sounds like you didn't get me. You know what? Tonight is the Santanet, isn't it? I think it is. 3913, 3912. Before JQA. Is that his call sign? W9JES. I know I should be giving him phonetically. I'm trying to see if he hears me. Whiskey 9, Japan, Echo Sierra. Whiskey 9, Japan, Echo Sierra. Whiskey 9, Japan, Echo Sierra. Copy. Oh boy. Well, that stinks. You know what I need to do is I need to get some things moved around here so I can get my Neptune amplifier connected to the SPID-X. Then we should have different problems. I won't say fewer problems, but I'll say different problems because there'll be a lot more RF floating around the shack here that I need to make sure is not going to interfere with the stream. All right, let's see if we can find someone. Apparently there's a contest going on. Should be able to get someone.
We'll get you guys tomorrow. I will. So everybody have a great night out there. 84, you and you going the other way. All right, you be swimming. I ain't gonna be too far from behind you.
Testing, testing. Oh, that's not gonna work. Testing, testing. Let's see. I wonder if I can get a hold of someone on here. Let's see. These guys are rag chewing. Might not be the best.
Who are you hollering for?
Let's go down to, what is that, 14? What radio am I using? Hey, Johnny Handyman, sorry. How you doing tonight? I am using a SPID-X radio by HF Signals. If you go into the description of this video, there should be a link in there. I am one of the developers of this open source radio project. I am not the creator of it, but me and a group of other people bought this radio and decided to make it better by adding more features to it. So what you're looking at right now is the interface that was completely redesigned by myself and our team. There's a link in the description that goes to our Discord channel or Discord server, and our you can see our code online as well. But this interface is completely redesigned. We also can do built-in FT8 mode on this, and right now I'm actually talking through the browser to my radio, and this radio operates uses a Raspberry Pi as its I guess its controller on the inside of it. So it's a computer inside of a radio inside of a computer. So it's pretty interesting. All right, let's see what we got here.
USA, Kentucky, calling RAC, CQ the winter contest, Whiskey Alpha 4, Japan, Quebec, Sierra.
Whiskey 9, Japan, Echo Sierra. I'm getting some really weird feedback.
Bill, that's about the way it's going. I missed your call.
Johnny Handyman, what are you a ham radio op? Do you have a radio that you like to use? This is a this SBITX is I guess it's not a QRP radio, but it's more along the lines of like a Zygo G90, where it puts out about 20 to 25 watts of power, and it does vary per band. So I tried to get in this station, this W4JQS before, and he couldn't hear me. But I did notice that I'm getting some really odd feedback into the radio, and I think you guys might be able to hear that as well.
But I was on for the last 13 years, and I was really checking the log. Year before last, this time I had over 250.
So I'm not sure where that's coming from. If you can, if you want to hang around here for a minute, I will show you the other side of the radio, the actual Raspberry Pi control surface. Right now we're just looking at the browser here, of course, but I can pull it up for you, and we can actually play radio through that as well. If we want to do some digital modes, that might be a better option. All right.
Got the radio, Whiskey. I'll give it to you again.
Okay, so now you should be seeing the radio control surface.
Is it Whiskey 2 radio? Is that it?
It looks very similar to the web browser. But this is one of my I have several radios here that are all SBITX radios, and each of them has a different version of software that we're either testing or playing with. So I just loaded this one up. So one of the cool things about this radio is you can see we have a bunch of different applications on here. So you don't need an external computer. You can just go in here and load up FreeDV, Grid Tracker, JS8 Call, QSS TV, WSJTX. You can log through here through Logbook of the World. You can do a whole bunch of stuff on here. You can do FLDigi. See, there's another logging program on here called CQR Log. do RDOP. There's Pat Winlink installed on here. These are things that I've installed and I've made available for free on my my GitHub page. So say for example, if we wanted to do 80 meter FT8, we can switch over to our mode here. I'm gonna go ahead and mute the radio audio here so you guys don't have to listen to the droning. Turn off the compressor here. So what you're seeing right now is it's going to start decoding FT8. So we have all sorts of cool stuff here. If I wanted to send a CQ out, I can do that. Oh, that power's a little bit much there. Let's bring this down a little bit. If you're down there, maybe we can make a contact here. So yeah, that's one of the selling points of this radio is that it's an all-in-one package. You don't need to haul around a laptop or a MacBook or a tablet or any of that stuff. It's literally all self-contained on the radio. Has a 7-inch touchscreen display. You can upgrade that to a little higher resolution display like I have on mine right now. Our group has made some add-ons for this. So on my particular radio, you'll see that I'm showing the battery and the amperage and voltage display here. That is literally just an Arduino add-on that you pop into the radio. There's also reverse polarity protection that we designed, and there's a external push-to-talk trigger so that you could use this to key an external amplifier, a transverter, and other things like that. So this radio was designed by a guy out of India, and you've probably seen him on YouTube in various forms. One of their newer releases was the ZBitX, or ZBitX as they call it. That particular radio does have some design problems. And the reason why I bring that up is because just like the SBitX went through different iterations. They went through Developer Edition and the V2 version 2 and then the V3. The Developer Edition and the V2 both had problems, design issues that had to be corrected. So then when they came out with the V3, it became a lot more robust radio with fewer problems. HF Signals is also known for creating the 20 meter and 40 meter single band radios, as well as the MicroBitX, which is I think it's an 80 through 10 radio that puts out about 10 watts, and that runs off of a Arduino Uno, whereas this radio runs off a Raspberry Pi. So there really isn't too much like that out on the market unless you're looking at a RadioBerry. And some of that stuff's not really open source. So the T41 project, I guess you could look at that and say that that's got some similarities, and it does. The QMX is closed source, but it's a nice little radio too that I think it shares some things to this radio as well. But it looks like I'm not getting any. I didn't get any contacts. By the way, this is a built-in logger here, so this is really cool. So if you were able to make a contact on FT8 or even if on any other mode, you can type in their call sign, their signal strength and received, and then save it in the logbook. And there is a way to export it. So you could go find your log in here, hit export, saves it as an ADI or ADIF file, and then you can upload that into your favorite logging program. So throw another CQ here. And right now, if you look down here, I'm doing it on the evens. So I think it's even. I don't remember, even, odd. It's the zeros. So you can see that I'm transmitting on the zero part of the minute or whatever it is. So 0, 15, 30, 45. I think that's how it works. I am, looks like I'm transmitting in, so this little red line here shows where I'm transmitting, and this is where the green line shows where I'm receiving. It technically receives the entire band swath. So right now my bandwidth is at 4 kilohertz. So it should be receiving anything in this light gray area here. I don't see anybody getting back to me, so we might jump up to 40 meters here. And look at this awful noise up there. I think that's probably from some electrical stuff that's in the house here or nearby. I have a neighbor that has a pretty dirty, electrically dirty LED light that he installed. And that might be the cause of it. So I'll try to bring in a little bit of radio audio so it's not so quiet. Bring that down. I guess I could go to PSK Reporter and see if I'm getting out. I'm sure I am. Let's see. Yes. I'm actually being heard in... Let's see, where is it here? I'm being heard in... Cyprus and Russia right now. So that's impressive. I can also load up Grid Tracker on here as well, which is kind of nice. If I really wanted to run that, I can just load up WSJTX as well, or I can use the built-in one here. Did I see any responses in here? I don't think so. I would like to make some voice contacts because I don't know how fun it is for you guys to sit here and watch someone get on FT8. But there are other digital modes that we can try. We can get on JS8 call and have some fun there if you want. So we'll give this a couple more tries to see if we get anybody to respond, and if not, we're going over to we'll try JS8 call or even FreeDB. Nope, not getting anybody. I don't know what's going on. That's okay. We'll make do with what we got, right? All right, so we're gonna go. All right, we're tuned up on this band. So now we're gonna switch over to Digi mode. And then we're gonna load up JS8 call. So JS8 call will run, it's basically using the transceiver, and I'll show you the setup as well, because if you're used to using, say, like a DigiRig or another computer to connect up to your radio, you have to set up your CAT controls and your audio inputs and outputs and whatnot. On this particular radio, since it's all self-contained, it uses itself and it uses loopbacks for the audio, and the CAT control goes directly to itself. So you'll see right now I have JS8 call open. You'll see I'm pulling in the audio and whatnot. So if I go into settings here, I can show you. So we're using Hamlib Netrate Control. And you'll see that our port is local. So if you're a IT person, you know that 127.0.0.1 is the local address, or if you've ever seen a shirt that says there's no place like 127.0.0.1, home. And then this is the port, the typical Hamlib Netrate Control port, which is 32. And our audio is set up here. So again, remember I talked about these loopbacks. So we have a loopback. So one of them is our input, which is the output to the radio, and our output from here is input into the radio. So we should be good to go here. I am going to put my call sign in here. Oops. Unfortunately, this is hiding some of the chat here. It's okay. Move OBS around, maybe I can see it a little better. All right. So let's go try to do some JS8 call. So you'll notice that when I change it here, if I go back to the radio, it did change it to 7078. And I can adjust my power slider here. And we can also just sit and wait and see if we can hear anybody. There is some tweaking you can do since this is a smaller display. It's not a 1080p display by any means. Looks like we're seeing some stations here. A lot of overseas stuff too, which is really cool. I usually don't see these in here. So let's do, if you guys want to join me on here, you're more than welcome to. You can go to 7078, and I'm going to go and throw up my CQ here. So we're going to go back to here. I'm going to bring up the side tone so you guys can hear that. I mean, if you've heard JS8 call before, you know what it sounds like, right? maybe we'll configure heartbeat here. Let's do a tune. So we are putting out 2 watts. That's pretty low. Now we're putting out some power. Okay. Let's try that now. Let's do let's turn off noise reduction. And oh, you know, again, this is a new Raspberry Pi image. So I haven't even set up everything correctly. So you'll see that the screen here kind of runs off. What we need to do is change our offset, I believe. Is it offset? No, bins per pixel. And then it can be challenging to get all this to fit right on the screen here. That's okay. That looks okay. We should be able to see our signals now. So if you guys are new here, I'd appreciate it if you can give a like and subscribe. That'll help out the channel a little bit here. We're not monetized, but you know, it gives us just bragging rights, and it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. If you do like what you see and you appreciate the work that we're doing and providing to the ham radio community for free, you can buy us a coffee. We'd certainly appreciate that as well. There's a link in the description. And if you want to join our Discord, you're more than welcome to come in and say hi. We talk about this particular radio project as well as other QRP radios like the QMX, the Hermes Light 2, the ZBitX, you know, all the HF Signals products, Radio Berry, anything that is usually in a small form factor that you can build. We also have technical areas where you can talk about radio design, get help on the particular radio that you're using, that you're having trouble with. We have a 3D printing section, so a lot of ham radio stuff. A lot of us, we design and provide our files up for ham radio use. So you can print those out, or you can I don't know. It's just a community. That's why it's called the Radio and Electronics Hub. We even have one of our developers. He built a full size pinball machine from scratch, um, and it turned out completely amazing. Um, I mean, we do everything. So you guys are welcome to join our Discord. Let's see here. So what do you think? Why am I not seeing any activity here? There's usually someone on JS8 call. I'm usually able to hear a heartbeat or something along those lines. Friend of mine, Ryan, he's KK6 DZB. He's, I guess you could say, a prominent member in the Discord community, and he does a lot with JS8 call, and also does a lot of hardware modifications, homebrews, amplifier building, and whatnot. So surprised I don't see him out here right now, but I know he's got some stuff going on personally. And again, we're getting close to the holidays, right? People might be traveling to go visit their family members or getting ready like we're doing here. We're wrapping presents and just kind of getting our plans laid out here for next week. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Do you guys have any plans? Anything big for Christmas? More importantly, does anyone have any radios that they are planning on either gifting themselves or hoping that's going to be under the Christmas tree this year? One thing I've never tried ever in my 350,000 years of being a ham radio operator, I've never tried JSA calling 80 meters. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because I've never had an antenna that was good enough for 80 meters. Hey, thank you for subscribing, Johnny Handyman. I certainly appreciate that. If you were here for the last one, you know it was sort of a train wreck. As I've said before, I'm just getting out of my comfort zone here. So trying something new with radio and doing the YouTube thing, and being just like probably dozens of other ham radio people. But this is definitely outside my comfort zone. But I wanted to try something different. See if we can make some contacts here. Engage with you guys, and obviously call attention to our radio project that we're really proud of, putting in thousands of hours into it, and really just devoted so much time to this radio project. What started out as me creating a Python script for this radio to do something that it didn't do has now turned into a Discord community of over 550 people. I would say over 100, several hundred of those people are tinkering with radios and learning how to do software development, or testing out the features and doing different things with the radio. And we have, it grew from a team of one to I think we have about 7 or 8 developers now. We've had more. We have people come in and do some things, and some people that go. They come in and they contribute to the project for a little bit, and then they move on to other things. But it's certainly come a long way than where HF Signals left off. And it's certainly been a fun journey, and just learning how all this stuff works. I think part of it's the challenge, right? It's you know, you as a ham radio operator, we can, you know, a lot of times we want to buy the nicest, shiniest radio, which I'm certainly in that boat. I have too many radios and not enough eyes and ears and hands to use them. But I always like new technology. Well, one of the ways to renew that passion for new technology is to take something that's like an open source radio project that you can improve in software and teach yourself how to code, teach yourself, you know, how to just edit one file and uh, change a couple things in the file and then recompile it, and then you realize, wow, I just added a new feature. Or write a companion script or like a Python script or something in another language, and then interface that to your radio. So, like for example, Hamlib. Again, just going back to, I know I'm rambling a little bit here, but this little set of tools here called the SBitX Toolbox. This is one of the first things I wrote for this radio. And this has a bunch of different, I guess you could say, applications. I've added a CW detector. Someone had requested that. Now it's built into the radio, but before that, we had this external CW detector. You can do DroidStar from this radio. You could do digital modes. You could, there's an Echolink client that you can use on this radio. I mean, it's just wild. I have a scanner program on here so it can go through and scan certain frequencies. Some of the stuff that's already on the screen here. So I have a application that does that backs up your data, because this radio does have its configuration data, right? So if you run this, it'll back up all of your configurations in like WSJTX and whatever else, and then you can save them to a USB drive and restore them back. So log exporter. This is an older application that I wrote. As you can see, I have nothing in my log right now since this is because nobody's getting back to me tonight. But I could export these. We have a macro manager. I wrote this guy. So with the SBitX, there's different macros that you can use for the digital modes or CW. So if I open this, you'll see that I have N1MM style macros. So if I bring up the FT8 macro, and we'll bring up the CW one. So you'll see here, one of the nice things about this is that since it is like N1MM style, a lot of these same things apply, but there are some things that you may have to remember or have to look up. This particular one shows that you can do your mycall, send RST, but you can insert a macro without having to remember these. So my grid square exchange, etc. And you can save that. Well, you can use a USB headset now with this radio. This is another one that I programmed. So there's audio loopbacks on the radio. Being a Linux spec, and certainly is challenging to make all this work. But you can use just a standard gaming headset mic, USB mic, and plug it into the radio and use it instead of the hand mic. I have a voice gear. This is also handy, especially for contests. If you're doing POTA, whatever. So you can record on your SBitX, and then you can play it back, which is a great little thing to have. So if you're wondering about this radio, it does have a real-time clock inside of it. So you'll see that it's called the hardware clock or HW clock time here. So I'm in minus 600 UTC right now, so it shows that as well. Shows the current time. So that was the current time of when I opened this application. So you'll see the time up here is different. You get the current time. So you'll see there. And if I want to sync everything from the internet, I can hit this button and it'll sync all my clocks. The Raspberry Pi clock. So think of that being like your Windows laptop has the same time as everybody else. It's same principle. One of the things that people are afraid of and don't like when it comes to Linux is because it's a different operating system. You have to remember commands. There is some command line involved. You'll see that most of this looks like Windows, and you can, it's all graphic stuff. But I created these I create these little scripts and these little applications, which is why I called it the toolbox, because toolbox is where you keep all your tools to do things, right? But this one in particular is a way to, instead of having to remember commands to type in, you can just hit buttons to upgrade. You can upgrade the SPDX application. SPDX ham maps, that's another set of applications that you can update on here. You can do a full system upgrade, so like upgrading Windows 10 to 11. I guess that would be the equivalent. So that is really, no, I do not want to power off, but thank you very much. And all that's upgraded over the internet. So you don't have to worry about, like on the G90, you got to go download a firmware file and put it in your system and jump through hoops to try to update it and hope that hope to God it doesn't screw anything up. Oh, we got a CQ here finally. CQAOS RBN. Okay. I'm going to throw out a CQ as well. How's that audio in the background? Is it the radio audio? Is it too loud, or is it okay? So who was this station? Doesn't say. Okay. So nobody on JSA call? We can always go up to 40 meters. Try that again. I think we saw some more activity up there anyways. Let's get rid of these guys. That's some really old activity in there, so. Oof. Okay. So how's everybody doing tonight? I think we only have 2 people watching right now. We had 36 people come in and take a look and say, nope, this is definitely not for me, which is fine. Again, I get it. Looks like we got something. I can see something on the screen here. WW4 GPL. So you're in me. Hmm. Okay, it sounds good. All right, good. Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate you. As long as the radio audio can get a little squirrely here. So I'll have to make sure I write down these settings and use those next time. So there'd be less setup time. So I'll throw out a CQ here again, and maybe we'll try something else. If you guys want, we can do some CW. I will say this: I'm not the world's most proficient CW guy. I mean, years ago I passed 5 words a minute and 13 words a minute, but that was a long time ago. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really use CW. I feel like it's a skill that I have to spend time to learn again. And I think that's sort of like, it's like getting a Boy Scout merit badge, right? Um, CW is one that I haven't achieved yet, but I've been able to get a lot of other ones. But personally, I'd like to do that. Especially now since our Aspidix project, we have a couple of developers that have been contributing quite heavily to making sure this radio works. It sends out really good code and receives good code and all that stuff. All right. Well, I'm not seeing anything out here, so we're going to go ahead and shut down that. We could do oh, by the way, I did add capabilities for this radio to use GPS. So I have an external GPS unit. It's just a cheap USB GPS, which is nice. You can also use that for timekeeping and whatnot. Excuse me. We can't use FreeDV right now, even though I'd like to, because I have to use my USB headset because we don't have provisions in this application to use the web browser yet. So, man, if I really wanted to, I could load up WinLink. But we're gonna try some CW here, and just give you guys a heads up. I am gonna cheat, and that means that I'm going to use the CW decoder, and I'm going to use my keyboard. I hear some. Is that RTTY? Is there a RTTY contest going on this weekend? You see this here? I think that's RTTY. Yep. That's a mode we can try. Well, change of plans here. Let's load up FLDigi. So RTTY, I think it's 50, right? I always forget. I don't really have this set up, but we'll give it a try. Okay, I turned up already. Oh, my YouTube signal is cutting out. That's not good. It looks like everything looks excellent here. It could have been because I was walking, or not walking, sliding away from the microphone. Where's, okay, I want to get the floating scope here going. No, not that one. Okay. You know what? Maybe really was not a good idea because I'm not even close to being set up with this. Is the audio in the stream any better now, Johnny? Ah, shoot. Oh, we'll close down FL Digi for now. I need to set my call sign anyways. Everything's kind of slowing down here. Did you notice that? Let's do ourselves a favor here. Okay, we're looking okay here. I wanted to make sure that we weren't didn't have any hanging processes, memory leaks, and stuff like that. Oh, thank you, Johnny. Appreciate you stopping by tonight and giving some feedback. It certainly is appreciated here. So, hope to see you again, and we'll most likely do this a few more times, especially over the next week here. So I hope you have a good night, and if I don't talk to you, have a good Christmas and holiday. All right, so we're gonna reload SBitX. What I'd like to do at some point is get my Hermes Light up on the air and do a live stream with that guy. That is a fun radio as well. I will say this, that I don't know if you put anything radio related on your Christmas list, which of course I do every year. It's either electronic parts, components, or kits, or radios. And my family just shakes their head. They said, I don't know what it's for. He just wanted it. So anyways, this year I put something that I wanted to build that I've never, ever built as a kid. Now I've had other electronic radio, like these kits, like 101 kits or whatever that you'd buy from Radio Shack. I used to buy those myself, and buy them for the resistors and the capacitors and the LEDs, and I cannibalize those to fix other things. But I used to build a couple of the circuits in there. Tried to do the radio ones, of course, but I never built a crystal radio set. And to me, a crystal radio set now, as an older man, ham radio operator, I think okay, you know, it's so much fun having these new radios, this new technology, and you know, SDRs and you know, remote control and doing all these really cool things, but really having something that goes back to the roots, I think that's a lot of fun. So in my case, I asked for a crystal radio set for Christmas, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get one. And I'm actually looking forward to building that. I used to love building kits, and I was doing a lot of radio repairs here, transceivers, shortwave receivers, and whatnot. Did a lot of that stuff, you know, and it's fun to repair equipment, but sometimes you just want to step back and say, you know, I want to build something, you know, take my time, build my own thing. So I'm going to give that a try. I've even thought about in the new year going to buy a QMX Plus and putting that guy together and having some fun with that radio. You know, just for the building experience of it. You know, to keep my hands sharp and I guess steady. So, all right, that's enough talking here. Let's go find some signals here. I'm gonna bring up that audio just a bit. Hopefully that's not too loud. All right, let's get our filter set up here. I do a pitch of 600. We'll do 16 words a minute. So straight key doesn't really matter since I'm using the keyboard. Let's turn zero beating on. And set up, bring our bandwidth down a little bit closer here. I'm sorry about that tone in the background. Let me mute that for a minute for you. All right. We need to set our tuning step down. Ready? Here we go. All right. Well, we'll save that for another time. It looks like most people have decided that it is getting pretty late here, so we are going to shut down the stream tonight. Didn't really make too many contacts, but it was certainly fun by anyways. So I appreciate you guys for stopping by tonight. Hope you have a good one, and we'll be back again. So take care, everyone, and 7 threes.